What's good, people? Welcome back to United at the Wheel. I'm your host, your driver, Chucky T, Chucky Do, or Chucky Taylor. Any of the above will do. Let's break down the Manchester United versus Fulham match that was played yesterday. Let's talk about the comedy of errors. Let's talk about the continual disappointment at the final hurdle. We came, we saw, we fumbled the bag. Talking about the joke, which is the penalty kick from Bruno Fernandes that is probably still rising into orbit now. Or the fact that our only scorer this season so far from 5 points dropped comes courtesy of an own goal. Anyway, let's get it. First half, we looked good. Continued some of that good work that we were doing against Arsenal. The patterns of play were there. The determination was there. The enthusiasm was there. The control was there. Fulham did not know what to do. We were away, our first away match of the season. We were all over them. A really strong start. We really should have capitalized, which is something I'm going to come on to. Us capitalizing on our sustained pressure when we can, being more clinical and giving ourselves the advantage that we need to complete such matches. Mateus Cunha in the first half, hitting the post early, forcing all sorts of saves from Leno, causing them all sorts of problems all over the pitch. It looked good. We looked good. But then, as per usual, things don't quite go right and the match kind of breaks down. I mean, we had a situation of when our player, literally Mason Mount, playing false nine again rather than us going for a natural striker, which is something that I'm going to come on touch on a little bit later on, as in, excuse me, I don't know if you can hear the traffic out there. I've got the door open. I'm in a garage right now, so excuse any background noise you hear. It's kind of hot, so yeah, mine's got to stay cool, so the door's got to stay open, so you got to hear the temporary traffic as and when it comes. But anyway, let's get back on track. Mason Mount playing false nine. He plays it really well, to be honest, but that's not really what we want to be doing. We want to be using a natural striker, and the changes in between the two approaches, I think, can be quite confusing, but we started well. Like I said, we started like how we continued against them, Arsenal. But Mason Mount gets picked up from, we get a penalty. Bruno Fernandes steps up, puts it down. We got the opposition doing nonsense, but that's what they're supposed to do. They're at home. And apparently, which I will touch on this in a second. But anyway, Bruno Fernandes steps up. Does not look himself, man. I mean, that man looked rattled. In fact, let's call a spade a spade. Bruno's he's not really been Bruno since the season has actually started. I don't know, is it the talk of all the new links with Saudi, with his agents out there negotiating and discussing things? I don't know, is it that? Or is it his excuse, which I'm not having, Bruno? I'm not hearing you failed to score a penalty because the referee bumped into you? Bruh. Nah, bruh. You are the captain. You are the leader. We can't have you being rattled by that. Go home, have a long, hard think about that, take a look about that, and think about what you want as a player and what you want to look like being represented as a Manchester United captain. It's entirely up to you what you want to do with that. So you can't be getting rattled by a referee bumping into you and not apologizing. Focus, man. We need you to focus, because if our captain is lacking lapses in concentration, that's going to spill through to the team. And to be honest, that's how we looked. So from that point on, it's like, yo, I'm not sure how this match is going to go. But then, we plug on. We plug on, we keep fighting, and we get a breakthrough. Lenny Yero steps up from across, headers it in. hits their man, goes in. 1-0. So you're thinking to yourself, yeah, man, we're 1-0 up. Let's go and get some more. But from that point, it's almost like, I'm not sure, even from the penalty onwards, it's almost like we woke up Fulham, or they figured out how to plug whatever gaps were being plugged. They figured out how to stop the overloads, wherever the overloads were coming from. And then they grew into the game like the home team's supposed to do. I mean, the second half was a little bit more physical. I mean, the height and pace of Fulham caused us problems from set pieces. Our goalkeeper looking like, I don't know, like he's just finished his GCSEs and he's not a grown man. I'm not throwing shade too much, but he just doesn't look confident. If he doesn't look confident, we don't feel confident. How are the players in front of him supposed to be confident? Not saying he made any mistakes like last week, but we can't have it's almost like having a handicap when it comes to set pieces, when it comes to structure. We need him to be strong. We need to be strong from the back onwards. But then saying that, outside of that, till that point onwards, our defence looks all right. Our defence looks all right. We've got a problem in midfield. We definitely have a problem in midfield. I mean, I'm talking about, yes, Fulham. They're a well-balanced team. They're a well-drilled team. But let's be honest, they're an average team. You could say maybe we're an average team right now. Maybe we're average stroke below average, depending on how you want to look at it. But Fulham are an average team. And if we want to show the ambition that we're supposed to be showing, we're supposed to be dealing with these sorts of situations. We're supposed to be winning matches like that. Like we have done for the last 15 years. That was our first loss at Craven Cottage in 15 years. We need to be braver. Braver in our approach and continue to do the right things all the way through the match. It doesn't matter if we're winning. It doesn't matter if we're drawing. It doesn't matter if we're losing. Repeating those patterns and continuing the progression which was shown from pre-season, the progression which was shown from the signings we put in, the progression which was shown from the ruthlessness from the board all the way down to the players that we're trying to get rid of right now. We need to be braver. We need to be braver in midfield and smarter in midfield. It's almost like from when we went 1-0 up, the game turned into let's not lose this rather than let's play a game of football. But as we all know how that story goes from so many times last season, it's almost inevitable. It is almost inevitable. And again, we get overloaded on one side of the pitch. A player comes down, in Alex Iwobi this time, puts in a weak cross. I mean, the cross, he just kicked it and he wasn't aiming for anybody. We failed to deal with it. It comes in. Smith Rowe, who has just come on, pretty much his first touch, I think it might have actually been his first touch, puts it into the back of the net. What do I see from that? Why are we overloaded on the right? I mean, Diallo had come on, we got Dalot on. So you think we should be better on that side, especially having an actual right back if we're trying to hold something out. But we were overloaded. What do I look at? I look at who's ahead of him. Mbeumo. Why wasn't Mbeumo there? I haven't broken it down entirely yet. I'll have a look later on and try and figure it out. But it wasn't there. Meaning a rubbish cross can come in and we don't deal with it. Smith Rowe's run through and scored. Who's tracking him? Again, I don't even know. All I know is I had my head in my hands thinking, what are we doing? And from a position of strength, we turn to look fragile. Our captain looks fragile. Our team looked fragile. We weren't really sure. It was frustrating to look at. I feel sorry for Ruben Amorim. You set the guys up, and it's down to, again, individual mistakes. I mean, you can't even coach for that. We need to sort out midfield. And from what I was touching on earlier on, it's all good having ideas. It's all good having different formations. It's all good being flexible. But we got to have a clear identity in what we're doing. The false nine situation should not be a default. The false nine situation should be something we use to deal with different teams depending on how their lineup is, depending on where the strengths are in the opposition. I don't feel the false nine should be a default for Manchester United. It's a default in the last few games, based on the fact we're getting Højlund out, and based on the fact that Benjamin Šeško is not quite settled in yet. Mason Mount has surprised me, I can't lie. He's done really well. Mason Mount has really surprised me. He's held up the line well. He's passed the ball. He's linked up play. He showed tenacity in closing down players. He showed tenacity in closing down space. And the match intelligence and match IQ to help balance the team. But we can't keep doing that. We bought Benjamin Šeško for a reason. So that's obviously the direction we're going in. And I feel from this point onwards, that's what we need to do. We need to concentrate on that. We need to show more professionalism in game control. Managing the game out. Managing the win out. Keep going. When you get one, get another one. When you smell blood in the water, you go for the kill. We need to be ruthless and unforgiving in our approach. We're more physical in how we approach attacking a game. We're more physical in how we approach defending a game. The players seem to trust each other more. But yeah, what's quite clear to me is there's a little bit of a lack of balance in this midfield, and it needs to be sorted out. I'm not sure if it needs to be sorted out by the personnel who we have, or sorted out by bringing in another player, another proper CDM type, sits in front of the defense, break up play, but still be able to hold the ball, press resistance, and mid-range to long-range and short-range passing. When I say it out like that, it sounds mad. It sounds like I'm asking for a lot. But we're going to need that. It's either that, or like I said, plug the gaps in what we got in our team. We need to find out what the right balance is. Our captain is going to play. I mean, I'm not going to hold too much on Bruno. He had a bit of a stinker, I can't lie. But he's not the only player there. If our forwards are putting the ball into the back of the net, and the rest of our players who should be called into this responsibility to are putting the ball into the back of the net, it'll be a lot easier to work with. But then all of this starts with stability from the back. From what I'm looking at now, it can't be Bindier again, man. We have to bring Onana back in. It looks like we're about to sign Lens Yemen, if I've said the man's name correctly. It looks like we're about to Lemons. Sorry, man. Man's away from here. I'm still trying to get my head around what we're doing as far as the team's concerned. Sends Lemons. Sends Lemons? You know what? I've been talking too much on this guy's name. I can't even get it right. When we get our new man in from Royal Antwerp, maybe that will give the little boost to the goalkeeping area for competition for places. But either way, Onana is going to be back in, I'm pretty sure. Our new guy's going to come in. I'm not sure what's going to happen with Altair Bindier. We've only got 4, 5, 6 days left of the transfer window. We're going to have to find a new club for him if we're bringing another goalkeeper in, because we can't have 4 goalkeepers. And Tom Heaton is better, to be honest, than Bindier. And arguably, Tom Heaton's probably better than Onana in some aspects. But it's going to be Onana. He's got more synergy with the defence in front of him already than the other 2 goalkeepers. And when Lemons come in, we're going to have to get rid of Bindier. I can't lie. He's not the one for us. It's not going to work. So, boy, positive. Let's try and take some positives from this. Speaking too much negative. Despite conceding a goal, our defence was not bad. Lenny Yoro is showing class for a player with such a young age. As they said about Rio, as they said about our old guy, Rafael Varane, who's gone now, he's showing to be that kind of classy centre-back. Class, touch, pace, vision. Rolls Royce type of defender, if you know what I'm saying. Rolls Royce type of defender. So that's a positive to take from that. Cunha, he's showing us he's a guy who is ready for Manchester United. He's made for this. And he's not going to let the opportunity pass him by. Mr. Mbumo, he was okay, average in that match. But when he starts clicking, he's going to give us something else, something more. So we've got to see the positives from this. It wasn't that bad. It's not a loss, but it's still 5 points dropped. in our first 2 matches from a possible 6. It's not great, but it could be worse. But basically, that's my review. Please like, share, subscribe, all of the above if you got this far. I should have said it at the beginning. Maybe I just type it out and put it in post edits. But again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all soon. Probably come back with a match review and talk about whatever news is going on. But until then, I'll see you all later. Peace.